Yo, what's up, Superfit fam? This is Super Chad bringing you guys another awesome video. So today we're talking about dip bar exercises. So I had recently, well, a while back, created a video on how to do some dip bar exercises for beginners. I did get a lot of comments for people asking for some easier exercises. So today we're gonna start with the basics. All right, let's get it. All right guys, so the only thing that we're gonna need for the exercises that we're doing today is gonna be some dip bars. If you guys need a set of dip bars, you guys can go check out, I'll leave a link down below. And these are Lebert equalizers. I'll have a link, actually did a review on these, so you guys can check that up in the corner. But all right, let's get into the exercises. So we're gonna be doing 3 main exercises broken down into smaller parts, but the exercises are gonna be progressively harder because we're not using any assist whatsoever besides everyday household items such as a chair. So if you have resistance bands, I'll make another video if you guys want, mention in the comments below how do I use my resistance bands with dip bars. But today we're not using no resistance bands or anything like that, okay? We're just using everyday household items. So the first exercise or set of exercises we're gonna start with is gonna be support holds. And from there, once you get really good support holds, it's a lot easier to progress into the last 2 exercises, which is gonna be learning the L-sit and also learning how to start doing dips, okay? So let's jump straight into support holds. So getting straight into the support hold, let's talk about a few things that we really wanna see. As we get better at the support hold, the main thing we're trying to avoid is slouchiness in our support hold. You don't want to have this turtleneck thing going on, which can possibly cause injury to our shoulders, especially when beginning out and our tendons and ligaments are not that strong yet. So make sure that anytime we're doing any of these exercises in the support hold, that we're pushing down really strong on the bars. So the exercise I'm about to show you guys are gonna teach us how to push down strong on the bars. So the first exercise we're gonna focus on is the shoulder shrug negative. So what we'll do is we'll jump up while we're on the dip bars and slowly come down into a elevated scapular position, meaning our scapula is elevated within the shoulder girdle. Okay. Now from there, we're gonna do the negatives. We're gonna do about 4 sets, about 5 to 8 reps, taking about 5 seconds on every single negative. If that is really difficult for you, you can use a chair to help you complete the exercise, okay? Like I said, this is gonna be really, really good for teaching us the difference between having an elevated scapula and a deep pressed scapula, which is learning the proprioception or the understanding of what our body's doing without even looking at it. Like, you can't look at your scapulas unless you have like a mirror behind you. So proprioception, understanding what our body's doing in motion. Okay, so once we get that really good understanding and we get really good at that exercise, we're gonna progress into shoulder shrugs, meaning that we're gonna go from that elevated scapular position to, well, the depressed scapular position to the elevated scapular position. So we're gonna pass through those 2 ranges of motion. Well, we're gonna pass through that full range of motion where we're going up and down, okay? Again, if you need the help of a chair, you can use the chair. Our main goal here, again, is about 4 sets, about 10 reps, okay? Now, once you get really, really good at that, you should have a good understanding of what it feels like to push down on the parallel bars or the dip bars and to get into that depressed scapular position, meaning that our chest is nice and tall, neck nice and tall. And now, once you get good at that, we can start doing isometric holds and trying to hold ourselves on the dip bars for about 4 sets, 10 seconds. Our goal is to be able to hold it for about 20 seconds. Once you're there and you can hold it about 20 seconds, you are ready to go on to the next exercise of learning how to do L-sits and dips on the dip bars. Again, if you need it, you can also use the assist of a chair to help you learn this exercise. Only using the chair, of course, as much as need be. Okay, so let's get into the next exercise of learning how to L-sit and what basics we can do to achieve the L-sit. All right, so now on our road to try to achieve the L-sit, the first thing that we have to achieve, of course, is the tucked L-sit. I did show in my last video a lot of tucked L-sit variations leading into bigger skills. So the tucked L-sit is going to be a very, very valuable skill. Now, of course, the first thing that we have to have on lock already is our support hold, okay? So once you have the support hold really locked down and you have a good grasp of that, we're gonna start working the tucked L-sit. Now, the first exercise that you can already start doing is tucked L-sit negatives. So what we'll do is we'll hold on to the dip bars, we'll jump our knees into our chest as fast as we can, and then slowly try to control the descent. What this will do is that it'll make it a lot easier for us to feel how hard we need to contract our abs to hold the tucked L-sit, but then quickly get out of that position because it's very taxing on us while we're learning, okay? Now, for doing that exercise in particular, a couple things you want to look out for is the sagginess or the elevation of your scapulas again. You don't want to have your shoulders up into your ears like that. You want to be pushing down strong on the dip bars. So that's my number one point. And just make sure you're grabbing the dip bars really firmly and pushing down. Now, in terms of reps and sets, you want to aim for, again, about 4 sets, about 5 to 8 reps, doing like about a 5-second descent. Our goal is to be eventually able to do like about 8 to 12 reps. Once you can do like 8 to 12 reps and it's really, really easy to get a 5-second descent, then you can move on to the next progression. Well, the next progression is going to be single leg tucked holds. So now we're going to be stuck in our support hold a lot longer, and our main goal is just to lift one leg up, try to hold it for like 2 to 3 seconds, and then switch to the other leg, okay? And then hold that leg for 2 to 3 seconds. We're going to proceed to do that for about 4 sets, about 6 to 8 reps each leg, okay? Once you guys have achieved that, then we're gonna get into the last variation, pretty much the tucked L-sit. So we can start working towards the tucked L-sit, and if you still need a little bit of help, like you're busting out the single leg tucked L-sit, and that's getting really easy for you, but you're still having a little bit of trouble with the tucked L-sit, you can grab a chair and bring a chair over, and then try to hold that tucked L-sit, okay? Now, our goal for the tucked L-sit, 4 sets, about 10 seconds each rep, okay? That's gonna be our goal. It's gonna be really tough, but once you can start doing that, we can start advancing on to harder exercises like the single leg tucked L-sit, and then eventually getting to our full L-sit, okay? Now that you guys have worked on that, let's get into the last exercise. We're gonna get into dips and how to start learning how to do dips once you have your support hold. All right, so dips can be a very, very tough exercise because the support holds going on. We got to control our shoulders while we go through the range of the motion of the dip, and we're using our tricep muscles to help push our body up, and a little bit of our chest and anterior deltoids. Now, the triceps are a very small muscle. Well, they're the biggest muscle on our upper arm, but compared to like chest muscles and leg muscles, they're pretty small, so they have to generate a lot of force in order to complete the exercise. So this exercise can be very tough. So the way we're gonna break this down, the first thing we're gonna start working on is our dip negatives. So we're gonna come up to the dip bars, we're gonna hold ourselves really tall, making sure that we are not slouching in our shoulders or have our scapulas elevated. And then we're gonna slowly descend down into the dip, or go through the pattern of motion for the dip. Now, one thing that you can do, if this is very, very tough for you, is keep your feet on the ground while you descend down into this dip. Our goal is to, again, do 4 sets, for this time, 5 reps, about 5 seconds each rep, okay? Now, like I said, dips are gonna be very tough, especially if you've never done dips before or you just suck at dips, okay? So once you master that, your goal is to start doing the dip negatives without using the assist. Once you can do them without the assist and you're getting those 5 reps, 5 seconds each, and you feel like you can go for a 6th or 7th rep, now it's time to progress on to the next exercise. And what we're gonna do is go into an isometric hold. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down into one of the toughest parts of the dip is when our arms are at a 90-degree angle. We wanna make sure that we're not below 90. That can be, if you don't have the shoulder mobility, that can be very tough. So we're gonna hold at that 90-degree mark, and we're gonna try to do that for 4 sets, 10 seconds. If that's really tough for you, what you can do is keep your feet on the ground. Now, when you first start out, you can keep both your feet on the ground and then eventually progress into lifting 1 foot off the ground at a time. What that's gonna do, that's gonna provide us less assist and make the exercise a lot tougher. Once you can already start holding the dip or the bottom portion of the dip for about 10 seconds every single time on those 4 sets, and it's really easy, we can start progressing into the next exercise where we'll start doing assisted dips using our feet. Again, we're gonna come up to the dip bar. We're gonna hold ourselves nice and tall. We're gonna go down to that 90-degree mark that we now have etched into our memory based on proprioception. And then we're gonna push straight up, okay? Now, starting out, our goal is 4 sets of 5, but eventually our goal is gonna be to try to make it to 4 sets of 10 dips. If you have to keep your feet on the ground to help you assist with the exercise, that is totally okay. But our goal is to eventually use our feet less and less and less. Now, a big pointer when learning these dips, we want to make sure our elbows never flare out. It's going to be kind of weird and internally rotate our shoulders, which is not going to feel really good, okay? Whenever we're doing our dips, we want to make sure our elbows are stacked underneath our body. As we progress and we get a lot stronger, there are some dip variations where we can move our arms around, but just for the safety and just for learning the skill, we want to keep our arms tight to our body. All right, Superfit fam, I hope you guys really enjoyed those exercises, and I hope they really did help with you guys learning how to use your first set of dip bars. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or you felt like you needed a little bit more of a breakdown for some of those exercises, let me know down in the comments below, okay? As always, like and subscribe to my page, as it really does help me out and puts this video in front of other people who can use it. And I'm also having a giveaway. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away something nice to one of my subscribers. If you want to be entered in so you guys can win something, all you got to do is 3 things. You have to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also comment on this video. I'll choose one person out of all the people that comment on this video, and I will send you guys something nice, okay? As again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope it was a really good introductory basis for the dip bars. As always, stay healthy, stay fit, and peace.